I am Pinstar, and this is Planetbase. Let's lurk. Let's look. Let's try. Let's learn. Episode 2. So in our last episode, we finally got these beds built, and these poor sleep-deprived people are finally getting themselves some rest. Yeah, while the other sleep-deprived people are waiting for a turn. It looks like our bots are starting to deteriorate. And that's fine. That's normal. What happens is this is going to keep going down until it reaches a critical level, at which point the bot's just going to stop. He's going to seize and whatnot. But one of our guys, at least one of our guys, or girls, they're not discriminating here, is an engineer, and they can just go over and fix the bot. Now, every time the bot gets fixed, the integrity will go down. And once this is sort of their long-term... Where was that? Where is that? Over the long term, their integrity will drop, and when that happens, then you're going to have to scrap them and build a new bot. And unfortunately, at the moment, we can't build new bots. But these guys got a lot of life in them, so we don't need to. Meteors. So at the moment, it looks like our bots are moving stuff into storage, which is fine. Ugh, these meteors. Making me paranoid, yo. Even if they're not hitting anything. Alright, that one's off in the distance. I seriously would really hate to see what a high meteor danger planet would look like. Yeah, once these guys are done with their sleeping, they'll trade out with these others, and then these guys will actually be able to be useful. Aha! They are done. Alright, now we built this biodome to grow food, but it's not going to actually grow any food until we build these structures. I didn't want to do that until people had a chance to sleep. Alright, so we have a whole bunch of crop types here. And this actually ties into... Let me get to the help file here, because this is actually kind of interesting. Where are we? Not disasters. Resources? Meals? Meal maker? Aha, there it is. So the meal maker is what takes our raw food and turns it into something, well, edible, presumably. Now, if it just has plain vegetables or it just has vitro meat, artificially grown lab tissue meat, it'll just turn it into sort of a space paste of that stuff that technically fills people up, but can, if done for too much, will lead to malnutrition. Now, the other thing you can do is if they make it into a mixed meal, it, as it says here, restores morale and nutrition levels and prevents malnutrition. So these are all the different meals. Now, as you can see, they have very broad definitions as to what constitutes pasta and burgers. But you'll notice wheat plus mushrooms is pasta. Wheat and tomatoes is pasta. I like wheat. And when we start getting vitro meat in there, wheat plus any of the meats equals burgers. So pasta and burgers, that sounds good to me. The other nice thing is wheat is a starchy vegetable, which actually is useful for making bioplastic, 'cause that's where the starch is the basis for that. So let's get some wheat going in here. We're gonna get 2 wheat pads here, just because I like it so much, and we like the starch. And then we're gonna get tomatoes, like so. And then... Well, we could grow medicinal pads here. This is what allows us to grow medicinal plants. You know what? I'm going to do that. Even though we're not going to necessarily need it in the long run, medicine is very good to sell. Like, it fetches a pretty darn high price from traders. So making excess medicine and selling it will get us allow us to trade for goods that we want. And you see, this is one of the ones the medicinal plants we traded for. Now we do need a lab. Yeah, and this is also where we're going to need some more people. How's our welfare doing? Poor. Well, that won't completely scare people off, but once all the people rest up from here, then I think we'll be in business. He's watching TV, rebuilding his morale. Slowly, I guess. It might tick up after he's done with that. Now, we do need a biologist in here to maintain these plants and also harvest them. And I know we have biologists. It's whether or not they're going to be able to do that. This is where you want that excess in population. It's unfortunately... See, in a previous playthrough, I built the launch pad like really early before people's needs started deteriorating, and I got new colonists in really early, and that actually helped me get the base up faster. But yeah, I think the welfare is going to just go right the heck up once these guys finish sleeping. Oop, and one of our bots seized. It is KO'd. So we're going to have to wait for one of our engineers to come in and fix him. This guy's probably not too far off. Oh, well, at the very least he's taking the stuff from him. Oh, they're just bringing stuff to storage. Come on, fix the bot! Thank you! See, here's Mr. Engineer, who is maintaining this guy, so now he's building up his condition here. And that will allow the bot to get back in action. And since a whole lot of moving of stuff needs to be done, then getting him back in action will be good. Alright, what are we doing here? Alright, everyone... No, these guys are still sleeping. Up, they're starting to get up. How's my welfare now? Oop! Good! And, oh, please be a colony ship. Please be a colony ship. I know they're not going to crush that medical plants box. Colonists? Colonists? Yes! One new guy! To get new colonists to arrive at your base. The last time I did this in my other game, I got 3 people. And that was very handy. But you know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. I will take what I can get. So, who are they? A worker. There we go. No, I don't think that was the guy. You the guy? There, that's the new guy. New engineer. Fair enough. Yeah, they're all just carrying stuff. Yeah, we need a biologist in here to start maintaining these plants. What I really want is more people, namely because we need to get a mine up and running, and we need people to operate that, and we also need people to operate the refinery. We are more than good on power. Should build a water tank, but no, I need to get the mine up and running, because that was the mistake I made with my other thing, is I waited too long on the mine. There's the lab. But no, mine's more important right now. Oh, wow. That's a handy-dandy mine. There. Actually, this connection doesn't need to be built. It's an outdoor structure. But yay for a random mountain here. Little dip in here is considered. And unlike with Banish, as far as I can tell, mines do not run out of stuff. Oh yeah, we also need to build the refinery. But mine first, because that way people can start making raw materials. Alright, good. Looks like someone actually maintained this. How are we doing on the meal maker? Nothing in the meal maker yet. People are just eating the pre-made meals that came with the colony ship, which is sort of like the wagon. Probably a trader here. We'll see what they have to offer. Can somebody grab that plant thing before it decays? Yep, trading ship. What do you want? Freelance general trader. Okay, well, we can, let's see what we got here. What is that? Oh, genetically modified onion DNA. Yeah, this is like buying the seeds in Banished, where they are really freaking expensive. 600 value? We can't come up with 600 value. A carrier bot, however, another one of those would be useful. Some extra metal might be good too. Always use more of that. Well, here, let's kick in our money and our medical supplies, because we can make more of that, and we don't have an immediate need for it. And they're, like I said, they're quite valuable, so it's a great thing to trade with. All right. So that's enough for the carrier bot. 157, 142. And we'll take some money. There. That's not too bad. And that extra carrier bot will certainly help ferry all this extra junk into our storage. Now, he doesn't give us the stuff that we're trading for until we give him the stuff that we promised. So we gotta wait for people to haul the medical supplies to the trader ship before we get that extra hauler bot. But yeah. Thank goodness nobody see, this is why we want redundant connections. Because, yeah, that could have killed somebody in there if they were walking in there. Thankfully, they weren't. So they're repairing that connection. Our first real meteor strike. I didn't even see it. Alright, nighttime. And the wind's blowing hard enough that the mill's keeping us in business here. 3 more medical supplies, and we'll get ourselves our bot. Oop, and and he is broken. Meteors. Alright, there is one person in here currently mining, so we have enough excess population for that, which means now we can get going with our refineries here. Processing plant, there we go. I'm going to make this beast a large one. How much stuff do we have? We've got enough stuff. I'm going to make this a large. Yeah, good enough. Yeah, I'd like to make this a redundant connect. Oop, 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 oop. Come on, oop, 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 oop. Come on. I want this to be a double connect. There. I want the redundant connections. You saw why. There we go. We can see our stuff. We're running low on meals. Luckily, we've got our stuff going here. Might want to build the lab so we can get the vitro meat going. It thinks that they have to take it out, around, and over here to build it. They can't just start building from there. Yeah, there's our third bot, helping us with the carrion. Little log jam here at the airlock, unfortunately. No, they never actually fully fixed this, but it's still good enough. Meal maker. Guys, well, these things are coming close to being ready to harvest, so we'll get an increase in meals pretty soon. Yeah, see, now we're having people that are just periodically using the beds as they need them, so you're not going to have the whole glut of people who can't get to sleep. Because, yeah, 2 bunk beds should be enough for a population of this size. So, yeah, see, we're starting to build up with stuff. Starch, tomatoes, wheat, tomatoes. We just need somebody to put them into the meal maker, and it'll make us some meals. So I do not think starvation is imminent. Is somebody gonna take this? Please? I don't want the medicinal plants to go to waste. Just put it in storage. Stuff doesn't deteriorate in there. Yep. Eventually I'm going to have to build another airlock just to prevent the log jam here. How are we doing at the mine? Nobody's at the mine. 43% of the way to making a new thing of ore. But the ore is useless until we get ourselves the processing plants here. But you don't really get enough people to have people work on the mine until we get more population. How's our welfare? Excellent, good. Colony ship, please. Colony ship, come give us many people, please. We need warm bodies in this base. That is what this base is requiring. Yeah, we need more biologists. Now we can actually control the ratio of who's coming in here. Workers, biologists, engineers, medics, and guards. No guards yet, but we don't need guards yet. We're letting colonists and traders, but not visitors yet. And we need a starport anyway. That's sort of like where you can get tourists going in there, which is pretty neat. But yeah, we need primarily workers, because they're the ones, besides the constructor bot, that build stuff, move stuff, and operate stuff. They're the ones that go into the mines, and until we can get drill bots, which is a whole kind of a tech tree of itself, they're the ones that are going to be doing that. Biologists are going to be important for our food supply. Engineers, maintaining the bots, fixing stuff up. Medics, we only have one, but we only need one. We don't even have a sick bay for them yet. Alright, processing plant is done. And once we get our connection set up, then I can start building stuff in it. Alright, we're going to get a bioplastic processor and a metal processor to start. We'll be building more. We'll be filling this with more. But right now, the bioplastic processor is what allows you to turn starch, which is a byproduct of some of the plants. Aha! Colonists, please, colonists, 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 colonists! Yes! Nice! 3 more colonists. Excellent! Warm bodies, ahoy! And another meteor. See, now we're going to have enough people to start working the mine more efficiently. We'll have enough people to operate the plants and harvest them and whatnot. We'll have more people, once these things are built, to start processing the materials. And we'll get the self-sufficiency milestone pretty darn soon. Because, yeah, we're starting to burn through our stuff. And also load most of it into storage here. Yeah, I know the oxygen's slowly climbing up because we just built a new structure here, but it'll make do. Starch. All right, good. So these things, yeah, this needs an engineer. No, a worker, just a worker. This is why we need the more of the workers here to make it. So they will grab a starch, put it into the air, and this will turn it into bioplastic, which is one of the 2 primary building materials, the other being steel, which is ore, which is generated by this mine, that will be fed into this metal processor that turns it into steel. So yeah, that way we can generate more raw building materials. What is... Oh, you're hurt! He's hurt! Oh, alright, he's hurt. We need sick bay, sick bay, sick bay, sick bay. Because we do have some, sick bay? Sick bay. Yeah, that's one thing, the mine does hurt people. Alright, self-sufficiency. Yeah, but we need sick bay, because, yeah, broken bones, that's what happens to people who work in the mine, eventually. I mean, it's a random occurrence, and not every time they go into the mine will they get injured. But that's what we need the medical supplies for, that's what we need the doctor for, but more importantly, that's what we need the sick bay for, to actually do the healing. So yeah, we don't want this guy to be walking around too much with that broken bone. It may eventually kill him if he goes untreated. And we do not want to lose warm bodies, we want to preserve them. And we've got some backup medical supplies despite trading some of them away. Not to mention a sick bay will allow us to start manufacturing medicines that might actually tell them to grab these medicinal plants and bring them somewhere. Yeah, he's not working. He's not going to be working on anything because he is too hurt. But understandably. Alright, so our meal maker here, what do we got here? We've got pasta meal, we've got vegetables, we've got wheat and tomatoes. So wheat plus tomatoes is going to make another pasta dish. Yeah, they're just feeding this thing raw materials and it's just spitting out raw meals here. Boop! So that way when people go here for a little bit of a snack, they will have themselves a good, healthy, hearty meal that will keep them healthy and also preserve their morale because it actually looks and tastes like real food and not just a tube o nutritional paste, as appetizing as that sounds. Alright, sickbay is getting built here. Good. We do need to wait for this piece of metal for this connection. Are you a... you're a biologist, so you're not going to actually be able to build it. And I can't build the beds in here. Actually, I think we need the lab to actually make new medical supplies, so I think that will be my next construction. Oop, what do we got here? Looks like a trader, but I've been wrong in the past. Trading ship. What do you got? Money. Raw materials. Ooh, raw materials. Yes. Yes! Raw materials, good. We give you money. I want ore. And that's a lower commission. Yes, we will sell all but one of our medical supplies, because we're going to need one to treat the guy who's injured. But we will be able to manufacture more of them in the near future. 62.43. Too much. There. That plus a little money will give us 4 ore, which will give us more metal. Excellent. And that will, since our mine is not fully busy at the moment, I mean, it's getting worked on, but we're down a guy because of the injury. Okay, that's done. Let's get a bed in here. And then let's think about getting a lab, because that can build Vitrameat and also make new medical supplies, hopefully making use of that one medical plant thing. But that will be in the next episode. So if you like this episode and want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstars, signing out. See ya!